I want you to write this down. The world is filled with fear, and people are afraid of the crisis. But here's the good news. Write it down. Crisis creates creativity. And this is where business comes in. The best time to go into business is during a crisis. See? You don't think like a lion. That's your problem. Crisis produces opportunities. Those who see them become wealthy. So the key to life is to look for crisis. Crisis produces what? Creativity. The kingdom of heaven is never in crisis. It feeds on crisis. If you study Jesus, all of his miracles was a result of a crisis. Without a crisis, you don't need a miracle. Oh, you're slow. Tell your neighbor, let's look for some crisis so we can work some miracles. Clap your hands, all you lions. Moses would be a boring leader if there was no crisis. As a matter of fact, if there was no crisis, we would never know about Moses. If there was no crisis, we would never know about Elijah. If there was no crisis, we would never know about Joshua. If there was no crisis, we would never know about Daniel. What made Daniel famous? Lion den. What made Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego famous? Fiery furnace. No wonder why you ain't famous yet. You ain't had no crisis yet. Jesus promised us crisis. Let me quote Jesus. All of you who live godly in Christ Jesus shall, I promise you, he says, suffer persecution. There's an elephant. Crisis produces business. I'm going to say it again. Crisis produces business. This is why China is taking over the world. No one understands China. In the Chinese language, come on, those in China, there's no word for crisis. Did you know that? There's no word in Chinese for crisis. The word that you use in Chinese for crisis is the word opportunity. China is taking over your country because you say you have a crisis. They say you have an opportunity. And their belief, everybody say belief? Their belief creates their attitude. Stop cursing crisis. Welcome them as friends. Go home, look for the crisis. Because business is solving problems. Write it down. Solving problems. You can never go into business if there's no problem existing. Every business solves a problem. Even you pastors don't know that you are in business. You are solving a problem. People are going to hell. That's a problem. And you want to what? Solve the problem. That's why you get money. You call it tithes and offerings. They're paying you to keep them out of hell. Be honest. They come to that building for you to teach them how to stay out of hell. That's a problem. And you solve it. And the better you solve it, the more money they give. And if you don't solve it, they go to another pastor and see if you can solve it. People change churches because you stop solving their problems. Every business is a problem being solved. Write this down. So kingdom citizens grow in times of crisis. You are about to miss the biggest opportunity at home. Go home and start a business. You are not a sheep. You are a lion. Go look for elephants, not for grass. Go ahead, clap right there. Write this down. So the secret kingdom keys to success in crisis is crisis. Jesus had 5,000 people with him up north from here in Galilee. They were sitting on the grass. And they spent 3 days with him. And their lunch ran out. That was a crisis. He didn't tell the disciples, send them home. He simply said, feed them. In other words, this is a great opportunity.